This is slightly intimidating.
Dad, what about me makes you proud?
Oh, man.
Dad, what about me makes you proud?
Dad, what about me makes you proud?
Oh, man. Dad, what about me makes you proud?
And I have to answer that one? Yes. Just about everything that you do.
You're loving. You're funny. I could go on and on.
What makes me proud about you is you just being yourself.
I had trouble with alcohol. It was actually an intervention. Even with all the other people there, you were the real reason that I made the decision to go into the treatment center that I did. And thank you.
Thank you. You're helpful. Yeah, you forgot the funny part.
Your attention to hygiene.
Dad, I am grateful to you for choosing to stay when I was little. Why am I crying?
At the time when I'm graduating and I'm packing up and leaving, then it's really gonna hit me. And
I think about a time when if you're not around, like that would be awful. But like you're the person that would always laugh.
Dad, I'm grateful because we didn't know how long you were going to be with us, so we're so happy that you're still here. Dad, I'm proud of you for knowing that the most important thing was to just give your kids so much time.
I've always been impressed by you. You made it easy. Thanks.
I miss having the chance to just check in with you. I miss your sketchbooks.
I love you. I love you too. We don't say it enough.
Hey.
I love you, Dad. It doesn't compute until they're gone. So tell them now. Sort of weird standing so close to you.
Yeah, okay, so I do not know how I'm supposed to follow that up. Welcome everybody to our Essential Dad June launch call. Wow, May has been a spectacular month. We had amazing promotions, and it was all about mom. So what's so nice about that? It is now we're moving to all about dad, essential dads. Also, our theme for the month, which is essential dads, which is which I'm excited about because why is our dads essential? Why is young living essential to our dads? But to tell you more, I'm going to hand over to Gavin. Welcome to the call, Gavin. You are an essential dad yourself. I think Brian is on the call. He's another essential dad. So I'm going to let all the essential dads present tonight.
Oh, thank you for that, Lee. We just had a bit of a blurry moment there. I'm sorry about that. Okay, I'd just like to welcome everybody onto the call tonight. I'm excited to announce that our theme for the month being Essential Dad. So this month, as you can see with our font, we're going with a very retro vintage vibe because we know that this definitely shouts for that cool one-of-a-kind dad because they're the original hipsters. And we're definitely here to celebrate their corny jokes. So yeah, just thinking about it. I have a dad joke. So what do you call a bear with no teeth? A gummy bear. That's a dad joke. Poorly executed. Sorry. But anyway, we know that dads are doing the most nowadays, especially when it comes to patriarchal taboos as well. So we're allowing them to be a lot more present and involved in their children's lives. And we know that essential dads is the theme that we're calling for the month, but this is what we're calling them as well. So on our side at Young Living, we'd like to celebrate the existence in our lives for upcoming dads, for new dads, for father figures, for, well, soon to be granddad. So with that being said, we have an amazing offer for the month of June, and this is regarding our PV promos. We've got exciting new launches, and we definitely can't wait to share this with you tonight. So looking at our PV promo for tonight, I would like to hand over to a dad himself, Mr. Brian Ford. Brian, would you take it away for what we have for the month of June?
Yes, of course. Thank you for that, Gavin. So welcome everybody to this amazing launch call. I'm so excited to explain everything to you, the products that's on the PV promo, why it is there. But before we get into it, I just want to quickly give you guys a quick rundown and story on the PV promo, right? So you're just a complete and ready to leave your place, and that perfect addition to your beard is just a few drops of cedarwood, mister, for that masculine appeal, look, feel, and scent. Like you're ready to tackle the day, right? And having everyone question you, how you maintain such a confident and appeal is your secret. Now, when you need that wind down, right, goldenrod is your companion for the bedroom, bathroom, and for the mirror, all right? The best thing, guys, is that you are always on the move. And what better way to take your favorites with you in a cosmetic bag to fill all these products in it, obviously, so that you can be essential wherever you go. Now, the bath and shower gel base can be combined with their favorite combination of essential oil. I just want to quickly give a fun fact on goldenrod as well, Gavin. So obviously goldenrod, right, has a scientific name, which is solidago, which comes from the Latin word solidare, which means to make whole, right? So let's get straight into the PV promo for the month. At 100 PV on Essential Rewards and 100 PV on Quick Order, you will get a cedarwood 15 mil. And you will also, at 120 PV on ER and on Quick Order, you will get a Thief Sanitizer, which is 29 mil. Okay, and then at 150 PV, guys, on Essential Rewards, you get the bath and shower gel base, which I just spoke about, where you can add your favorite essential oil. And then on 200 PV, on Essential Rewards, you'll get the men's cosmetic festive bag. And then on 250 PV on ER and on Quick Order, you'll get the Mr. Essential Oil 5 ml. On 300 PV ER, you'll get the Goldenrod 5 ml, which is great for all dads for the month of June. Thank you, Gavin.
Wow, thank you so much for that, Brian. I think I know what I'm adding to my bucket list. I can't even say bucket list. I'm sorry, I meant wish list. See, they got me thinking about that moment already. But before we get into it, I'd like to just give you a brief introduction for one of our brand partners that we are having on the call tonight. So just to confirm, Kristin, that's on the call. Before I bring you out, I'd just like to introduce who Kristin is to everybody. So Kristin Viljoen is one of our brand partners. She's a wife and she's a mother of 3 lovely boys. She started her journey in 2015, and this was when her oldest son was on chronic medication for his eczema. And with her, she couldn't stand spraying kids with the chemicals anymore and just keeping bugs off of them. So she knew that there had to be another way. So she's a silver leader currently. She's studying aromatherapy, and she loves learning and teaching others how amazing our products support their body and their systems as well. So another great thing is that she believed with her diagnosis, it didn't have to be the end of her story as well. So she's definitely here to support anybody. She's here to assist, to educate, and definitely put it out there on her journey and sharing it with those out there. So can I get a hi from Kristin Viljoen on the other side there, please?
Hey, Gavin.
Oh, I see you wearing something very special for the night, but I'm not going to say anything about that. So the best thing about tonight's call is that Kristin is going to give us a brief overview on how her husband is going to incorporate using our product. So Kristin, on the PV promo that we have for the month, could you at least give us a walkthrough on your usage testimonial for your husband or anyone in that matter, please?
Yeah, so we love cedarwood. I would definitely recommend when you are starting with your essential oils just to inhale them and kind of allow your brain to kind of do some memory recall of the essential oil blend that you are smelling or single that you're smelling, and create some memories of your own and associations as you are using your essential oils. So for cedarwood, I really love the sweet smell of it. It's really great for melatonin production, which melatonin is what we need to sleep well. So a lot of people love to use this in their nighttime diffuser blends. It's also really great for thyroid support. So if you have Hashimoto's like myself, then this will be amazing thyroid support for you. And I love, so I make my husband a hair like serum that he puts in, not his beard so much. He doesn't struggle with beard growth, but he's kind of starting to struggle with a little bit of the top growth. So I put this in a hair serum that he puts on his hair after he showers. And it's got rosemary, cedarwood, and lavender in it. And I even use that occasionally to just like freshen up my roots and help the hair growth. So cedarwood is really great for that. And that's why we've got it at the 100 PV promo mark for men, especially because we know as we age and there's stress, we want to help support those things. And so cedarwood's a great one for that. Then I'm just going to go through them all. Is that right?
Wow, that's amazing on cedarwood.
Okay. So the Thieves hand sanitizer, it's great. He keeps one in his work bag that he takes everywhere with him. So he can just clean his hands, keep everything fresh and clean while he's out and about. And he plays a lot of golf too. So that's really great for his post-golf game, just to kind of freshen up his hands. Yeah, he's a fan of the Thieves hand sanitizer. The bath and shower gel we've started using in the last month, and I've actually added a couple of oils to ours. So I have previously in the past added cedarwood and lavender to our bath and shower gel base. And the great thing about this one is that it also can double as a shampoo. So you could still put that cedarwood in your bath and shower gel and use it as a hair, like as a shampoo. And then the cedarwood's also helping produce or motivate, inspire, let's say, hair growth, healthy hair growth. This like men's travel kind of case, I actually gave to my husband's grandfather this last year for Christmas as his toiletry bag, and he absolutely loves it. I really like the quality of it as well. It was a really great quality bag. I thought it was very well done. So he loves putting all his toiletries in there, and it's just a nice, easy zip that he can take anywhere with him. And then, yeah, Jeff would love this for travel as well. So it's quite sturdy and durable. And you know, those guys, they don't treat their travel bags nicely. So it needs to be nice and well, like quality. And it is a quality product. For Mr., so this is a blend that was actually made to help support hormones for men specifically, why it's called Mr. And you can definitely smell some mint and some fennel in there. There's a few, if I could only read without glasses on here. But this is great hormone support for men or for women. So you could use this in a roller to help your guy, or he could use it even as like a cologne in itself. If he likes that kind of minty herbal smell, it's an easy one for him to apply in the mornings or in the evenings in conjunction with or separate from Endoflex, which is another amazing hormone blend for men and women. And then goldenrod. So yes, we all know these crazy stories about goldenrod, but here's a really interesting fact. So there's a essential dad on my team, a guy oiler who struggles with hay fever, and goldenrod actually can really help with seasonal allergy relief. So you'll find it growing in places where like ragweed grows, and some of those, especially in springtime, or autumn, those weedy, grassy, weedy grasses that kind of come up, and they can cause seasonal allergies. But goldenrod really can help with congestion. So even recently, I saw this dad last week at a show, and he said he's been using his goldenrod, and it's been helping clear up the congestion when the eucalyptuses and the peppermints weren't working for him. So that's another usage for that. Especially, it also obviously helps, I think, if you've got ylang-ylang in the bedroom for the ladies, goldenrod kind of in the bedroom for the men too. So it's got many usages and abilities inside one little, oh, that is such a unique smell. That is all I will say. But yeah, those are ways that we use them in our house.
Wow, Kristin, that's some really good testimonials, especially with goldenrod and hay fever. I actually didn't know that it can assist with that. Another great thing about Mr. and goldenrod. So Mr. is really great for the healthy appearance of skin as well. So I've read up on it as well. I haven't used it much, but I know that it's also great for beard oil and for a natural cologne. Goldenrod, on the other hand, I know is for increasing male libido. So that's another great use for goldenrod. And then we move on to our promos for the month. So, Mr. Brian, can you tell us what we have on promo for the month?
Of course I will. All right, so for the month of June, guys, we have the Ember Diffuser and a thermal mug with 2 essential oils. Before we go into that, though, I just want to quickly give you guys a little rundown on why we chose these products for the month, and I feel like it's a fantastic story, right? So what better way, guys, to thank the essential dad? See what we did there? Then by gifting him with a diffuser that will have him remember you whenever he diffuses something. Now, I think that is extremely special, right? If my dad had to give me a diffuser, I'd probably phone him or voice note him whenever I diffuse, and you'd probably get annoyed. So by also keeping it cool with the peppermint essential oil, right, which has an invigorating aroma, but also great to use topically for those sore and tired muscles. All right. Now, for the on-the-go dad, guys, the Dedication to Dad bundle, which is the bundle that we are going to offer right now during the month of June, right? It features a compact and versatile thermal mug, which I did mention just now, to slot into his car and take along with him. You know, dads are always rushing, grabbing their keys, their briefcase, and they're forgetting their tie. So you might as well just tell them to take their mug and sip their coffee while they're on their way to work, right? So we also know that everyone appreciates a sweet and minty scent, right? Which is also a good oil, which is why spearmint can be added to the shampoo, body lotions, or hand soap for those bursts of minty scent. Now, spearmint also is like peppermint, but it's a little bit sweeter as well. So I feel like that's more of a better oil if you like sweet oils, because obviously the spearmint has more of a sweet smell. So we absolutely cannot forget that it can be combined with Idaho blue spruce, right, as a woodsy and energizing perfume. Now, I just got one question for the dads. So I know there's a lot of moms on this call. So if we can just please ask the dads to take a selfie in the car of them with their kids in the background, and of the dads holding the thermal mug, and post it on Instagram if you guys are active on Instagram using the hashtag Essential Dad. And then, yes, like I said, you can post it on Instagram, please. Thank you. What I'm going to do is quickly explain to you what's on offer. So we have the Essential Dad bundle, which I did explain, which is the 10% off the Ember Diffuser with the Peppermint 5ml, and that is going at a lovely price of 900 Rand, and the PV is 22.5. We also have the essential oil of, just want to quickly see, Idaho blue spruce, right, and spearmint, which I did say, and of course you get the mug for free, okay, which is 375 ml, which is the mug size quantity, and the price is 545 Rand, and the PV is 37.5 PV. Thank you, Gavin.
Thank you so much for that, Brian. Kristin, I understand if you're looking at this offer for the month and you seeing these 3 specific oils on the table, how would you incorporate this with your day-to-day, or how would you use this? Depending on whether it's your husband, it's yourself, or anyone at home. If you can just give us a brief overview of that.
Yeah, well, I think this is the perfect diffuser for any guy in his office. My oldest son is 12 and he's just moved into his own room, and I've promised him an Ember diffuser because he's getting older and he loves it. And so thank you for the discount. So I can definitely get that this month for him. And his favorite oil is peppermint. It's his go-to for anything upset tummy-ish or breathing, helping him breathe well. So He'll be such a fan of that in his room. It's a perfect thing for any kind of teenage guy or a guy, any dad in his workspace. It diffuses well as an office feature. It's made of sustainable resources, which I love personally. And then for the travel tumbler and the 2 oils with it. So what I like about the spearmint is that it also can double as a fresh or a mint alternative. So after he's had his coffee specifically, you kind of have that coffee aftertaste and he's going into a meeting and he doesn't want to like have that coffee breath. So if he just drops a drop of spearmint on his thumb and sticks it on the roof of his mouth, 1, it'll help open up his sinuses, and 2, it will freshen his breath naturally. And as it's not as powerful as peppermint, it's definitely, because it's got that sweeter taste, like Brian was saying, it's definitely like a perfect mint alternative. So no sugar spike in his insulin, but that nice fresh taste in his mouth. And then when he's greeting people as well, they'll smell that nice minty fresh smell. And then Idaho Blue, another really cool tip about that. So because it's the highest tested frequency oil. So every oil has a frequency, everything in the world has a frequency to it. And Idaho Blue Spruce actually has the highest frequency of every essential oil that's ever been tested, even higher than rose. And when you drink coffee, when you hold coffee, as I was holding coffee, your frequency drops. Your body's frequency drops. And so below 50 or below, well, about 56, I think, or so, is when sicknesses and disease sets in. So we want to keep our body's frequency above that line. So Idaho Blue Spruce is a great way to do that. And when we hold coffee, our frequency drops. And if we drink coffee, it drops even more. But it's been found that if you apply an essential oil within a few minutes of drinking coffee, it actually brings your frequency, your body's frequency back up to a nice, sustainable, above the wellness line kind of number. And then, so if you've got Idaho Blue Spruce, what better oil to apply to bring your frequencies up than the highest frequency giving essential oil out there? Another thing about men, I don't know about your men, but my husband loves the mints and he loves the eucalypts. And Idaho Blue Spruce, though it is a spruce, it has that slight eucalypt smell to it, which opens up the airways and the sinuses. And my husband's a big fan of all of those kind of scents. And so he's way more likely to use that in his car diffuser and as he's going around town.
Wow, I honestly didn't know that about the frequencies of holding a cup of coffee and drinking it. And I mean, this is such a great conceptualized funnel that we've brought forward for our dads. So we want them to maintain that consistent energy and just be healthy overall. So thanks so much for that, Kristin. So I will bring you back in a short bit. I just also want to introduce a really, really amazing offer for the month of June. We haven't forgotten about the youth. So if we can move on to the next offer, I would just like to speak about the promo that we have available. So what we have decided is, we know that nowadays a lot of our youth and a lot of kids love and absolutely love their kicks. So all of those kids with those pumped up kicks, we want you to keep those pumped up kicks fresh throughout the month of June. And what better way than to offer you a youth sneaker bundle? So this youth sneaker bundle that we've created is to assist you with maintaining the look and feel of your sneakers, because we know that if you're looking at anybody, or nowadays, if anybody's going to notice you, they're going to judge you by the shoes that you're wearing. And we know that we have Jordans out there, we have Adidas, we have so many brands, and everybody just sticks to their brand as well, because we're looking at comfort, but we're also looking at the style and the look of it. So the bundle that we've incorporated has a 15mm lemon and a 15mm lime. It also contains a Young Living sneaker brush, which you can use for cleaning, and a Thieves dish soap. So what we've done with this offer, we've put it up for promotion at $4.99. You can see what we've done. We've used lemon essential oil, we've used the lime, the dish soap, and the scrubbing brush to clean these pair of dirty sneakers, which you can see the before and the after. So you can see the quality of this. So what I've done is, I've created a DIY video in the next slide to show you exactly what we went through in order to using essential. Okay, thank you so much for seeing that. And then we move over, which everybody's been excited about. So, Kristin, before we move over, I would definitely know that a lot of our brand partners are excited for the next product that we're bringing into the market. So I'll give it away to you. If you can just talk about our amazing launch for the month. Okay, let's take it on to the next slide. So
okay.
Everybody excited.
I was like, okay. So Shootron, this is an amazing launch for June because Shootron is like a dreamy oil blend specifically designed with men in mind. So where Mr. has more of that herby, fresh minty smell, Shootron has got the woods. There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 tree oils in here, which is amazing. So I got my husband the Shootron beard oil last year when I was in the States because I wanted him to try it. And he loves it. I love the smell. It smells incredible. And here's the great news about the Shootron essential oil. You can make a DIY beard oil for your husband. So it operates as a cologne that he can wear. He could apply like a roller aroma glide fitment to the top and just roll it on his wrists as he goes throughout his day. So the beautiful thing about tree oils is that they're incredibly grounding for our bodies. So if he's kind of got a scattered mind, this is really going to help quiet the noise in his head. And he's just going to smell absolutely incredible. So I'm a big fan of this. And as I said, like there's a myriad of things you can do. You can even pour like 5-6 drops of this in your bath and shower gel base, and it can be your husband's. And then you could have your own version for you. Or if you like more of the woodsy scents, you could totally use this. I mean, this would be a calming blend even for women to use. So if you're a fan of the tree oils and there's a little bit of sweet because of the ylang ylang, the cedarwood is naturally sweeter. The Akotee's got a little bit of a spicy, cinnamon almost spicy smell to it naturally. So this is going to be a really nice grounding but sweet kind of smelling. So it's got that mixture. And because it's got such a nice blend, those woody smells are actually going to like linger a lot longer because they're all base notes. So I'm really excited about this, and I'm really excited about the price of this because these oils, some of them we don't get here, and they could easily drive the price up. But this price in this bottle is like very nice for our pocketbooks here. So yeah, I'm excited about this one.
Oh, thank you so much, Kristin. Before we go, just the question that I'm dying to ask: does the smell of Shutran, does it draw you back in? Does it make you just want to grasp your husband and just never let him go?
Yeah, I mean, I want to anyway, but yeah, it definitely helps.
Okay, thank you so much for that, Kristin. And then just to confirm that Kristina Foster is on the call, before we move over to this, thank you so much for that, Kristin. I really do appreciate all of your input. So I just want to get a great close for you. You deserve that. That's amazing. So Kristina on the call. So Kristina Foster is an American-born international best-selling author. She's a professional photographer. She's an interior decorator, and she lives with a missionary husband, Jim, in Cape Town. Her pride and joys are two grown, beautiful, and miracle girls, Brianna and Elise, who are now both living in the States. So she loves to travel. She's been in 48 of the states and over 13 countries. So she has over 17 operations, and as a result, she's been diagnosed with several immune disorders. So Kristina went on a healing journey of discovery that led her to the holistic changes. Through the holistic changes, through using pure essential oils. That's when she found Young Living, and she started a toxin-free lifestyle from that. So Kristina joined Young Living in 2019, and she's been privileged to personally visit 3 of the Young Living farms. So the reason that we have Kristina on the call tonight is because there's one special oil that we are so excited to announce. Kristin is wearing a hint, or actually, can I say a clue for what we're announcing for tonight? So Kristina, over to you. Can I get a hi? Can I get a hey?
Hi guys. I'm actually also wearing a very cool t-shirt from, oh my goodness, this last year. I don't know if any of you knew this, but I was back in the States this last year, and I got a special
I think Kristina is stuck. Gavin, I think you are stuck as well, if I'm not sure.
I'm still here. I'm sorry about that.
Oh, okay, cool.
Okay, so initially, Kristina is going to talk us through her farm journey. So unfortunately, I'm not sure what's going on with the connection issue. We'll just wait for Kristina just to get back on. But in the meantime, there's so many hints being thrown around on exactly what we are launching this month. And we don't want anybody in the chat to give it away just yet. So, damn, there we go, giving it away already.
They knew it, Gavin. They knew it already.
Damn, and it's given away so easily. But Kristina, okay, so Kristina is not coming back at this point. So initially what happened was Kristina had visited the Northern Lights Black Spruce Farm in Alaska, and she had the privilege of being at the partner farm where they actually distilled, and she actually got to help produce the oil, which she helped bottle. She visited the labs, and she got to plant as well. She got to plant her own Northern Lights Black Spruce. And they also got to go to the factory as well, where they are distilling Northern Lights Black Spruce. So you can see how much of Northern Lights Black Spruce goes into one entire holding just for
Oh,
distillation of the
Kristina's
oil.
back. Kristina's back. Yes.
There we go. It's in Canada. Oh, okay, cool. So Kristina there. Is Kristina there?
I am sorry, I had to unmute myself. I don't know what it is. I guess it's anyway, glitch in our internet. So sorry, guys.
Okay.
No, but we what I wanted to yeah, I had the most amazing time, got the most awesome opportunity to go and distill my own oil at the Northern Lights Black Spruce Farm and meet all the farm workers. We got to take part in every single part of Seed to Seal. It really was amazing. This is actually the farmhouse that we stayed in. It was originally built back in 2014. This was Gary's house that he built. It was started out as being partly residential and part like offices and such. And he went and he stayed in this farm because he opened up the farm back in 2014. I don't know if anybody has been in Young Living further, but you've probably heard the stories of how Valor, which has Northern Lights Black Spruce in it, went out of stock in 2013 because there was no Northern Lights Black Spruce. And so he he went on a search for a farm, and he found this farm up in Northern Canada. Now, to kind of give you an idea of where this farm is, I started out in Seattle, which is above California, flew into Vancouver, which was about an hour flight, flew another 2 hours into Prince George, and jumped into a carload of other Canadian Young Living members, because there was only 25 of us going up this on this week. And we drove another 9.5 hours one way to get to this farm. So it's pretty like into the woods. In fact, when we got up there, they told us be careful of like bears and elk and deer and coyotes and moose. And we actually saw all of those animals and such. But we started out by planting. We planted black spruce. We planted over 500 of the plants of black spruce. What they did was they put like a line going across, and they had specific spaces that you had to space them out to make sure with growth and everything. So, and then we were able to also cut down our own seedling, or our own small spruce trees, about 6 inches. I'm not sure what that is in centimeters, sorry, but 6 inches in circumference or so, not more than that, because the smaller ones actually yield more with the greenery, and the the younger ones actually yield more oil that way. And so we cut down and chipped about 5 tons of black spruce or spruce trees for that week. And then they put them all into a chipper. They when we were there, we put them all into the chipper. This is all of us that we were there. I was the only one from outside of Canada. So, but yes, they put them all through the chipper, and then we brought them into, they chipped all the trees up, the 5 tons of trees, and then we took them to the chip yard, which you'll see on the right-hand side is in the distillation plant. They brought it into this big, huge semi truck, and they poured it out onto the floor of the chip yard. And so then they took it by hoe, and or backhoe, and they put it into these big vats. Now those are the cookers. There's 4 huge cookers in this distillation plant. Each one of them holds between 4 and 6 tons of chips. And every time they poured in a barrel full of chips into the cooker, they would lower us down with ladders, and we would stomp it around. It's kind of like, you know, when you do grape pressing with your feet or whatever. But they said they, instead of putting down and stomping it down with like a steel plate or something, because of the stomping down individually yields more oil because of your flattening out the pressure and getting all this flattening out and making sure that there's no air in between. So you flatten it all up, and they put it down. They put the cookers down, and then it takes 4 hours to yield about those 5 tons to steam those 5 tons. So 5 tons, and that's what 5 tons looks like coming out of the cookers. It's actually weighs close to 6 tons after they've distilled it, because they've taken out all of the because it's so very dense, right? And so they actually just take, it's so compacted in there that all they did was they hooked up that red crane thing above and just strapped as it came up. They strap and put another strap around it, and those are like so closely knit together because they've been steaming for 4 hours or more, that they just pulled it all up and swung it over and dumped it into a truck on the outside that was waiting, kind of a loading truck, and then they used that as mulch for the next harvest. And so they said it really helps with keeping down the all the weeds and stuff. So this is 4 hours. This was about halfway what the water looks like. So when the water goes through, they steam it. Okay, they steam the chips, and the steam goes through the condenser and comes out, and it starts out very small line of the yellow part is the oil, very small, and about after this was about another, they say they yield about 60% of it in the first hour, even though it takes up to 4 hours, they yield most of the oil. So this was about after the first hour and a half. And eventually about 5 tons of oil, they made a calculation, about 5 tons of oil would make, let me see, I wrote this down so I wouldn't get it wrong, 2,005 ml bottles, which is about 10 liters of spruce oil per cut or per 5 tons of chips. So it's pretty cool. And then what they do is they separate the water, obviously, from the oil, and they just pour, as you can see, the middle part is pouring the entire water, separating that from, but because that water still has minerals and such in it, and it's the oil and it's the water that comes from the oil, it's actually the hydrosol. So so if you like, you can actually buy the hydrosol oil, and we actually got to take home like jars, like the Canadians who were there and drove, they like literally took gallons and gallons and liters of hydrosol water back with them, but we got to take home as much of the hydrosol as we wanted to. And then when we went through to filter, so you go back one just for a second, you go filtering, the third picture is we filtered, they used non-bleached coffee filters to filter this the smaller batch. And what they do is they go through testing even before you even even start to harvest, because they don't want to, they test before and they test after, because you don't want to do 5 tons of something within it come out wrong. So but we got to bleach, we got to filter through unbleached coffee filters our very own oil. and then we went through the testing lab, and they tested this lab. They went through all of this, all the computers. They showed exactly Wes, the scientist that was there. He explained to us everything that was going on, the entire process, and we actually he explained to us the numbers and the reports and everything. It was so very cool to be able to come away with our very own bottles of Northern Lights spruce that we distilled, we cut down, we went through the testing process, we filtered, we did the entire seed to seal process. So it was an experience I will never, ever forget. And if I was ever to go back again, it was amazing. This was the Northern Lights that we saw. I actually took this picture with my cell phone. Underneath the stars, when we stayed at the house there, it was absolutely gorgeous. There was wild horses on one side, and we had big bonfires every night. We went from Saturday to Saturday, and we could literally feel and hear the Northern Lights. And it's been a really, I don't know if you know what Northern Lights are, but they're the solar energy coming from the sun that actually gets deflected over the Earth's surface. And so some of them go to the North Pole and some of them go to the South Pole. So if you're in the North Pole, it's called Aurora Borealis, which is what these are. In the South Pole, it's called Aurora Australis. So because of this energy, it soaks into the land and into the trees and the plants and sometimes even the people, you can feel. And it is just it creates an amazing energy when you are there, and when you have it creates an energy that is unmatched in any oil. It's very, very cool to have Northern Lights black spruce oil, stuff that I've actually distilled. And one of the other things that I got when I was there was I got the Northern Lights black spruce first distillation. They had just a very few of these, and these are actually if you ever go to convention in America, they have this in Gary's office, and it's actually the first distillation oil that they ever made on the farm, along with the hydrosol. And so it was just an amazing experience that I love it. I can't explain how it's changed, but it was just life-changing, actually, just completely life-changing.
Wow, thank you for that, Kristina. I mean, I've recently created an obsession with the Northern Lights as well, especially with the Aurora. So I've been doing a bit of research on it as well. But that's amazing. That's a really great story and testimony. I mean, it's really life-changing, as you said. Onto our oil for the month. Would you like to talk us through exactly what Northern Lights black spruce is and how you use it and how great it is for men as well?
Sure. So basically, one of the things that I like about Northern Lights black spruce is it's got the woodsy aroma, definitely, but it's very good for let's see if I can look at my notes here. It's very good for adding to your beard oil as well. For my husband loves to use it in his beard oil. It helps for emotions, very much great for calming, for just really just giving that calmness. It provides comfort to the skin. It provides a soothing relief when needed. And so I like to take and use it with the V6 oil. And then it'll just apply to the skin. It's very calming that way. In fact, when we were out in the woods cutting down the trees, the Young Living farmer, he tells us that he says, see the sap on the trees. He goes, they're really good. If you apply the sap from the trees, it's great for headaches and for blisters if you get a blister. So he says, if you're out there and you start to get a headache, he's like, just take some of the sap from it. So I'm sure the oil is probably the exact same. Because it also soothes minor irritations. You can do topically on such, and it really helps with, like, if you get a splinter or something like that, it really helps draw that out. Obviously suitable for emotions, calming that, helps you manage stress as well. My husband's very high strung, and so if I want to help calm him down, I'll start diffusing Northern Lights black spruce, and it gives them that calming. And it's probably because it's in one of the major oils in Valor. Valor gives that calming of the of the emotions and of the butterflies and of the stress. And then it's also really great to add for your perfume or your cologne. It's a wonderful scent, especially if you add it to a little bit of water. Like I use the hydrosol, or my husband does, as kind of like an aftershave. So it's really cool. You can make your own aftershave with it as well. And then another way is for a hair serum or a beard oil, like I said before, which is another really cool, very good scent to use for those as well. A lot of benefits to this amazing oil.
Thanks so much, Kristina. Thank you so much for giving us a great story, as well as an overview and a testimonial on how Northern Lights Black Spruce has changed your husband's routine, as well as your experience that you went through to in Canada on the farm. Brian, would you like to take us through the exciting offer for the month of June, which is our Northern Lights Black Spruce and Shutron 5 North? Do I have Brian on the call?
No, Brian seems to be stuck. Gavin, just take us through.
No problem. So our offer for the month, we've got them at really great prices. So as Kristin has spoken about Shutron, which is an essential oil blend, it's an aroma for men. This is going at an amazing offer of 515 Rand at a 35.5 PV. Also, we've got the Northern Lights Black Spruce, which Kristina gave us a great testimonial on, which is available at 365 Rand. I mean, this is value for money. I definitely know for a fact. So we have a single and we have a blend available, and this is going to run from the 1st to the 30th of June on all ordering platforms. This is on Essential Rewards, on Quick Order, and new enrollments as well. And that's our offers for the month. Onto our incentive.
I'm very excited to say that these are oils that's here to stay, right? These are not LTOs. These are joining our, to answer, Chris just asked. Yeah, these are not limited offers. These are here to stay. So they are here, but that doesn't mean you have to wait to buy them, right?
So we have them open for sale tomorrow. So we know it's going to be traffic on the internet tomorrow morning. So I definitely get your hands on these offers for your husband or for that special man in your life. And then do we have Margot on the call tonight?
Hi there, Gavin. Yes, I'm here. Can you hear me?
Okay, perfect. Margot, do you care to talk us through the incentive for the month?
Okay, no problem. Hi there, everybody. We are going through the Experience Africa incentive. So we're reaching the 2 final months of the incentive. So this is time to push as well as to get to any one of these tiers, right? So at tier 1, we have the wonderful oils, which is the fennel, forgiveness, sage, Roman chamomile, and Australian curania, valued at 3,300 Rand, and you get a wonderful 10 oil bag as well. And then when you qualify for tier 2, you get tier 1 gifts as well as motivation, dream catcher, journey on, cardamom and eucalyptus blue valued at 6,600 Rand. And this is amazing set of oils, right? So if you qualify for tier 1 and tier 2, you get a 10 set oil, okay? And then when you qualify for the ultimate tier, right, which is tier 3 at 450 points, you will get tier 1 and tier 2 gifts, of course, as well as 4 nights at the 4-star Ravanala Attitude Mauritius, okay? You will also get return flights from Johannesburg and transfer. So this is the exciting tier, but we've sweetened it up a little bit as well. If you get to tier 4, which is only 50 points extra, which is at 500 points, you get to take a partner with you, right? Also 4 nights at the Ravanala and return flights from Johannesburg for 2. So who wouldn't want to experience this with their loved one or their significant other, okay? So going over to recognition for the Mauritius incentive, I want to congratulate the top 20 of the Mauritius incentive. So congratulations to everybody on the board tonight. We are super, super excited for all of you. What this means is you are in the running either on tier 1, tier 2, or tier 3, right? And you are also in the running to make it to tier 1, tier 2, and tier 3. So super excited for you, but we also have a little bit something extra for you here tonight. We will be giving you the festive drink shaker, which is accompanied by a useful mocktail recipe that you can use to shake up your favorite drink in Mauritius. So super excited. Please check out your ER orders. You'll also be getting the magnets as well in your ER order and the festive drink shaker. Thank you so much, Lee and Gavin.
Kevin?
Thank you so much for that, Margot. I mean, everybody's excited for the incentive that we have for the month. I'm sure that getting your partner on board for an extra 50 points is a giveaway. So everybody that's excited for this,
I don't know if Kevin is having technical issues, but I just wanted to bring something to everybody's attention. So if you download the latest price list that went out after, there's something that we want to share with you. So you will have noticed that there's a new column called ER Redemption. So remember when we reduced the price and of the Thieves products as well as the supplement products in February, we also reduced the PV because the PV is linked to the price. Now, so when you sell or buy these products, you earn PV on these products. Now, but the other option is that you can buy these products with your ER points. Now, now you'll see that there's a difference between the PV price, that's the PV that you earn, and if you want to buy it with your ER points, the ER redemption price. Now, the ER redemption price is set by Global, and we cannot change this at all. So although you earn less PV because of the price is more affordable, when you buy these products with your ER points, please make sure that you just note that there's a difference between PV earned as well as redemption price. So you can see that if you download at the latest prices, all that information is on there. We will also send out the new price list going soon. with all the new products, but just please make sure that you understand that some of the products, most of the products, they will be the same, but some of the products, there will be a difference between the PV as well as the ER redemption. Then, Gavin, are you there? Or are you back with us? No, Gavin seems to have dropped call. Just want to remind everybody, our next sensational event is at the Experience Center on the 24th, but we're also going to Cape Town. So we are in Cape Town on Saturday. If you want more information, I know Kristina, is there still tickets available for Saturday? So
yes.
Okay, cool. You can either so if you want to come to the sensational experience in Cape Town, you can either reach out to Jade or Kristina that's on the call. There are still tickets available. Jade or Kristina, do you just want to tell us where the event is? I don't know.
I'll let Kristina, and don't forget we have one on Friday as well, which is in Stellenbosch, and Kristina can talk about Saturday.
Okay, awesome.
Yeah, so we have one on Saturday morning. It's called Cup of Notes. It's here in Brackenfell. It's at a coffee shop at the Cape Gate Lifestyle Center. And so, yeah, it's from 10 to 12. So.
Awesome.
And it's 350 Rand. And that includes a small breakfast and, of course, everything else.
Yeah, you'll get all the fragrance stuff. Then, Gavin, are you back? Are you having I think Gavin's got some connection issues, so I'll just take
Yes, I'm back. Sorry about that. Just had a bit of...
Okay, so we've got some
okay, so our training dates for the month of June, we've got a very exciting call on the 8th of June, which is regarding men's health. We do have a Royal Crown Diamond, Vic Birchfield, who will be talking us through exactly which essential oils and products are great for incorporating with men's health, as we are incorporating it with the theme of Essential Dad. And then on the 22nd of June, we've also got a great business call, which is income producing activities to do during load shedding. So this is to get your business going when you're having those full moments like these blackouts, and what we can do to be proactive enough to grow your business. And then the exciting part of the call that everybody's been waiting for. I'm sure you're so excited, and it's the question for the night. Please, I repeat, please do not move too fast on the slide, because I do not want to give this oil away just off the bat. Okay, so for those that were listening attentively, the question for tonight, when you're ready, drum roll please. There we go. Okay, so I'm seeing some names there. Okay, let's see. Okay, Elisma, Sunette, Esmarie, Annie, and Desiree Lots. Please contact member services tomorrow to secure your oil. It is goldenrod. Of course, you have won yourself a goldenrod 5 more. Congratulations, ladies, and thank you. That you can definitely use to spoil your husband. So that'll be all from myself, Lee, Brian, and Margot. Thank you so much for joining us tonight. Kristin Viljoen, Kristina Foster, thank you so much. We really appreciate all of this that you guys do for us. And thank you so much for just taking your time out just to give a great story on exactly how well the offers pan out for the month. Thank you again from all of us at Young Living, and we can't wait to see you throughout the month of June. Have an amazing one. Thank you. Till next time. Good night.
Bye, everyone.